Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday today. Guys, I just had to get on today to talk about a topic that is very concerning, especially in these last year of being this COVID-19 shutdown. I recently just joined a couple of type 2 diabetic group sites. The reason why I just wanted to see what type 2 diabetics were talking about, what the chatter was, because in the last few years, Emily and I have been helping quite a few of our clients who have high blood sugar issues. And so I wanted to get on those sites to see what's going on out there. And man, I am totally shocked on how many people are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or some kind of high blood sugar levels. Now, and the thing I'm seeing, the comment I'm seeing over and over is all these new people that are being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or high blood sugars. They say the same thing. The first thing the doctors are doing is putting them on the type 2 diabetic medication, metformin or insulin, and almost every one of them is getting a reaction to it. Nauseous, sick, foggy brain, all kinds of different stuff. And the thing is, what's really crazy is that it looks like the doctors are actually putting them on large doses right off the bat. This is what I'm seeing here. Well, I'm probably seeing 2 or 3 times a day of somebody who is been diagnosed recently. So obviously the issue has escalated. Now we already know that type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease or obesity, we already know all 3 of those are an epidemic. And so, but it seems like in these last 3 weeks that I've been, looking at all this or watching these comments, and I have commented back, it's escalated. And could it be because of the shutdown? I don't know. We do know it's these high blood sugar levels are driven by food. We already know that. Well, all these questions or answers, when somebody goes on these sites, they put in there a comment. Everybody's given their suggestion. I have not seen in these 3 weeks, I have not seen one person address the root cause. Not one. I have not seen one person. And now, when I did comment on a couple of them, I asked them, when you were diagnosed, because see, the comment, they had a question, we were just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, or my husband was, and the doctor put him on metformin or whatever, but didn't give us any information other than take the medication. That was consistent all the time. So my question that I went back and commented on, was, I'm sure your doctor informed you of what the root cause to his or hers high blood sugar levels. It was something known as insulin resistance. Every one of them came back except for one. Every one of them, and I'm talking about a lot of people, came back and said, we have not heard that before. How can that be when there's doctors out there right now who have completely changed their platform, their health platform, gotten away from prescribing medication and turned to a program, a natural program that's over 2,000 years old that is changing the types of foods they're eating and when they eat. And they've been doing this for years. But yet, Nobody knows about it, and nobody is addressing the root cause. I mean, the medication is already known by science. You can go to Google Scholar and look up the side effects of these medications. They're horrendous, especially when it comes to kidney failures if you're on the medication for a long period of time. Most health professionals know, and even all the doctors know this. You cannot reverse the root cause of high or sugar levels with medication. It never has worked. It does not work. Think about that. I just, all these people who were just recently diagnosed were put on the medication right away. If that medication worked as well, if it worked, then why are these people still taking them 3, 4, 5, 6 years later and getting the side effects? I've had multiple people contact me and have been on these medications and have had high glucose levels for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Now they're starting to see the effects of the side effects, and now they're panicking. They're waiting until they see the side effects because the doctors aren't educating them on how to address the root cause, and it's not really their fault because they are not educated in nutrition at all. Well, maybe a little. Now, there was one person in one of the groups that did come back and say that she was just diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, and the doctor did not want to put her on medication yet. He wanted her first to change her diet. That doctor we need to get the name of and point everybody to that doctor. And I commented on her and said, you need to call that doctor up and thank him, because most likely he probably saved your life. Guys, if you know somebody with high glucose levels or type 2 diabetes, they need to understand this is serious. Long-term type 2 diabetes or high blood sugar causes some horrendous medical issues over time. If you don't reverse it, you've got to reverse it. But the problem is you've got to understand what the root cause is. The type 2 diabetes isn't the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is insulin resistance. That is how it should be said. You need to go after the root cause, and the root cause is insulin resistance. Now, insulin resistance isn't just for type 2 diabetics, you guys. It's also for anybody that has a fatty liver disease. That's an epidemic here. And those out there that are 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight, they have most likely some stage of fatty liver, which is insulin resistance. That's the root cause. Obesity, epidemic. Guess what the root cause is to that one? Insulin resistance. So why isn't anybody talking about this? Why in the group there's nobody addressing these people who are asking for help because they have no idea what to do? They're feeling the side effects of the medication. They're getting sick. And no one is telling them, well, if you address the root cause, which is insulin resistant, work on that with a program that's been around for 2,000 years, because it changes the type of foods you eat, which our ancestors ate. So our body already knows that it needs to eat like that, and it changes the time you eat. That's how you reverse the root cause of high glucose levels, obesity, and fatty liver disease. Address those. Now, there are steps you have to go through to do that. If you want to know more about this, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. Or you can go to my Fat Loss Made Easy group page, join it, because this video will actually be on that group page also. On the description section, like I've said before in the past, I will put a few of my research. This is real science research showing both changing the type of changing the type of food you're eating will help to reverse insulin resistance. I didn't say type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can come back. So can insulin resistance, but you can reverse insulin resistance, which is going to help with type 2 diabetes. I've had clients that have been put on this 2,000-year program. Within a few months, the doctors have now taken them off that type 2 diabetic list. And all we did was change the type of foods they were eating and the time they eat. Guys, it's so simple. It really is simple. Blood tests don't lie. If somebody is skeptic of this, give it a shot. But give it an honest shot and do your blood glucose levels. Now, in order to do it right, you do need to do a GKI system, and that's what I use on all my clients. It's a glucose ketone index because both of them help with lowering the sugar. You have to understand your body has to be put into an environment that's going to balance and control the hormones that are causing insulin resistance. See, these medical professionals are not explaining this to these people, so they have no idea how to do this. And then when I bring it up, they're looking at me like, "What in the heck? Who are you?" Well, I've been doing this for over 40 years, helping people. So I've seen a lot. I mean, I'm learning new things every day. That's just like doctors are learning about getting people off the medication by addressing the root cause. Again, the root cause is insulin resistance, which is causing your hormones to be imbalanced. I guess you might say type 2 diabetes or high blood sugar levels or obesity or fatty liver disease is hormonal driven. That's pretty much what it is, right? You've lost control of the main hormone that's causing you to have high blood sugar. If I was able to sit down on a phone call for 30 minutes with somebody who is battling this and gave them an example of the root cause and how to address it, they would sit back and say, that is too simple. By just doing this, this, and this, it's going to cause my blood sugar to drop. Absolutely. And we'll prove it to your doctor because you are going to document step by step as it drops, date it and time, and you're going to show a picture of the type of food you ate. And that's going to show him that you were able to reverse the root cause, which is insulin resistance. Okay, guys, it's basic. It really is, and science has been telling us this for a long time. Some of the top doctors out there, type 2 diabetic doctors, or fatty livers, or they've changed. They've completely changed their platforms and gotten away from the medication. It doesn't work. It never has worked. If it did, you guys still wouldn't be on the medication. Or the medication wouldn't, people would be reversing the high glucose or sugar levels being on the medication, and they're not. I've just read a few of them just today where the doctor has increased the medication because he didn't like the way the blood sugar was still too high. So what does he do? He increases and doubles the metformin, which has got major side effects. Then he increases the insulin. Now, if you go in and you're diagnosed with high glucose levels or type 2 diabetes, you ask your doctor, or he's going to increase your insulin or add insulin along with the metformin. Ask him, by adding the insulin, am I going to gain weight? So you're adding insulin to your body. Didn't I just say? Insulin resistance means your body is producing too much insulin. Your cells are so clogged up with sugar that it locked the door. See, there's a door. There's a door in each one of your trillion cells that the key is insulin. In a normal person, insulin is the key to open up that door to let your sugar in there into the cell. The cell takes the sugar to the parts of the body and uses it for energy. The problem is you've bombarded your body with so much insulin, there's no more room left in those cells, so they lock the door. So where's that excess insulin and sugar go? Where's it going to go? It's going to dump right back in the blood. Guess what? If you've been overweight most of your life and you've lost your weight, do you think those fat cells are gone? No, they're not. They're deflated. Those fat cells never leave. They're deflated. But guess what? Now you become insulin resistant. Your body has to store that excess sugar somewhere, so it takes it right into those deflated fat cells. If you don't have any more fat cells, it makes more. See the big picture here? The more you eat, the more glucose you produce, the more you get fatter and fatter and fatter, and you're adding more and more cells. Why do you think people that go on a diet for so long, they lose all their weight, and then they go into some kind of a stress mode, and they start eating again, and they get twice as big? They never lost the fat cells in the first place. They just deflated them. But it gets worse. Okay? So anyway, guys, I just had to get on here and talk to you about this because it's ridiculous. These people do not have to suffer through this disease. If they just listen to the doctors that are actually doing it by just changing the types of food they're eating and the time they eat, and look at the research. Like I said, on this video in the description section, I've got plenty of research on it. So anybody wants to come after me, I'll just point into Google Scholar. Hey, look it up yourself. Don't listen to me. I don't want you to listen to me. Just like you should listen to your doctor and then investigate it yourself. That's how you should do it. Always investigate it yourself. Research it first before you make a logical decision. Now, like I said, I know in my town there's a couple of great doctors that would rather reverse insulin resistance naturally, and they're going to tell their patients that. But they also have to be careful how they take it, because the AMA doesn't like them prescribing natural ways to reverse medical issues. So they have to be careful. What they do sometimes is send them to me, because I'm not under the AMA. So I can give them the instruction or the education. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be one. But I've been doing this for so many years and helping so many people. I've got a lot of experience under my belt. And I've got the documentation of the actual blood tests of some of my clients who did reverse insulin resistance. Okay? Hope you guys saw some value in this. If you know somebody that has some type of high sugar level issues, can't get it down, send them this video. Or they can contact me at drinknatureswater@gmail.com, and we can set up a 30-minute call for free. It doesn't cost anything, and let's just talk. And I will point them in the right direction. Okay? You guys have a great day, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye.